How's it going, everybody? This is Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fred Anderson Toyota in Asheville, and we just got our first Grand Highlander in Storm Cloud. It's an XLE, so I figured I'd just take a few minutes while it's out front to kind of walk around and take a look at it. But overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with this thing. All right, so here it is. This is our first one. Again, this is an XLE, has the 2.4 liter turbo engine, not a hybrid, not an all-wheel drive. It's in Storm Cloud, which seeing it in person is a lot more gray than I thought it was going to be. It reminds me a lot of Lunar Rock or something like that. It's got that same kind of color to it. Actually, in video, it looks a lot darker than it does in person. I guess there's a little bit of blue in it when you really get it in the sun, but it's a fantastic color. I think it's going to end up being a very popular color as things come by. And I'm not going to lie, this car looks a lot better in person than what I thought it was going to. It's got a kind of a huge grille. I think that was my biggest thing, is it's got these tiny little headlights and a huge grille, like it's trying to be a little bit too aggressive. But overall, kind of seeing in person, the boxy styling, I'm kind of digging. It's kind of like a juiced up RAV4, really. I don't even really see much Highlander vibes in this, minus a little bit of the interior. But speaking of that, let's check it out for a second. So this one again is the XLE, so it's the mid trim, and in Toyota's infinite wisdom when it comes to just confusing the trim models, you can actually get a panoramic sunroof with the XLE. It's an option. It's about $13.50 to add. But just kind of taking a look at the dashboard, the screen is newer. This is, I forget what size screen here in the middle, but it's kind of interesting how it's got the two little quasi digital displays here on the left and right with the actual screen in the middle. It's got a nicely sized and placed touchscreen, which I think they all come standard. I think this is like 14 inches across or something like that, but this is pretty much a standard setup for all the other Toyotas, and I'm sure once you actually have Apple CarPlay and everything set up, that'll work nicely. I like the layout with the buttons. This is where it does kind of look like a Highlander, more like a traditional Toyota. Your dual zone climate. It's a small detail, but I actually really like the rubber touch on the buttons here. So you can see it's got these little swirls on it. It's actually a pretty nice feeling button, and I feel like these buttons here are even a little bit more matte than what I remember seeing on other Toyotas, instead of being like a gloss black plastic. Looking here at the center console, regular automatic shifter, electronic parking brake, of course, auto stop start. Here's your different drive modes. This one has a snow mode, even though it's a front wheel drive. Like the Highlander or the Sienna, it actually has a huge storage area. I don't know if this will do it justice, but it's huge. I mean, I can fit, it's probably 9 to 12 inches deep in there, give or take, with a nice little organizer tray. Also, like in the Highlanders, I was glad to see that they still kept the storage pocket, and Toyota's starting to put these phone chargers everywhere now. You can see this is the one that's for phone charging. I'm guessing that one's the one that's going to be for the screen, because it's got the USB logo there. For the passenger, there's another plug right over here with the tray, which is nice. Puts it right in front of them. And then, as you've probably seen in other videos, back over there, there's phone chargers. And I'd be willing to bet there are phone chargers here in the center console. Yep, so pretty interesting placing. They've got one here, one there, and they still have the bullet style 12-volt plug, which I think this is actually kind of stealing from the Hyundai and the Kia playbook, if you ask me, because they put a lot of theirs up on the seats. And since I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be kind of like a Palisade or a Telluride killer, I totally get the feeling that's what they're going for there. But nice roll top center console. It's got kind of like a rubberized coating to it, so it's actually really soft, and you can definitely put some weight on both of these and it'll be comfortable. Good space up front. Interestingly enough, with the second row, it's obvious they've got the second row track is locked, where it can't go back as far as I think you can in the regular Highlander or definitely Sienna. However, I am 6'3", and with this seat locked back all the way, it's definitely comfortable for me. Maybe not like super luxurious with tons of legroom, but more than enough. And you can see there's plenty of room for my big feet to go. This one is, of course, a 7-seater with the captain's chairs here in the middle. So it's got the same kind of cup holder and little storage tray as the others. Let's take a look here. These are almost the same exact seats pulled out of a Highlander. I'd be surprised if they are actually a different part number. If we actually climb in the back here, so you can see it does have an integrated step here, as you kind of expect in this class. There's a handle here and a handle here for getting in and out of the third row. But this is the main draw for the... What's up, guys? This is the main draw for the Grand Highlander, is the fact that it's actually a mid-size SUV. Well, what's a mid-size anymore? That actually has legroom. So if I click this seat back, again, I'm 6'3", and I can actually fit back here. Right now, this thing is a little reclined, so I could probably move it up. But even like it is, you could definitely fit 6 or possibly 7 full-size adults in here with this third row. But if there was a bench, you could definitely fit, 7 comfortably in here, I'm pretty sure. But even in this third row, you can see they've got big, huge pockets with cup holders. They've got this huge thing here for like a small laptop or a tablet that can lean up in there. And then it's really smart because you can see there's a little slot here for a cell phone, maybe if it's the right size to fit in there, or an iPod or something like that. And then of course the phone charger's on both sides here, which is nice because if I'm not mistaken, Highlanders, I think they only had the phone chargers on one side, if my memory serves me right. But just like the Highlander, you can see we've got air vents for all 3 rows, which are controllable from the center console up there in the middle, as you can see. And then again, here's that panoramic sunroof, which I think is kind of an interesting touch for the XLE. I think it kind of confuses Toyota's trim lineup, since panoramic sunroofs is usually only reserved for limiteds and platinums. But hey, Toyota's a big company, they can do whatever they want to do. So really good, impressive third row. I'm actually happy with that. And then the nice thing about all of this is you don't give up storage room. So now that we check out the back, you can see the third row is still in the up position, and it's actually pretty deep. This is probably about 2 feet deep, and because this is so boxy, I imagine if these were maybe not as reclined, because I think probably that would be the normal area to sit, you could actually probably fit maybe 4 to 5 normal size suitcases all stacked up in here. Or obviously, if you don't have to have everybody in here, it's extremely roomy. I don't know the cubic feet offhand, but I can just tell by looking at it, this is probably about the same rear cargo area, or possibly more. Actually, it looks like it possibly is a little bit more than what you'd even have on a 4Runner. So really impressive. And of course, because this is an XLE, it's got your power tailgate. So kind of a quick look. This is my first time to actually see one of these in person. Definitely the first time I've even seen this color in person, which I think is going to do really well. I'll be curious to see what you guys think in the comments. And they're already making the hybrids. They've got the Hybrid Max that's going to be out with like almost 400 horsepower. So I think these are definitely going to sell well, especially since I think it's going to slot in nicely right between the Highlander and the Sequoia. So put me some comments down below and let me know what you guys think. Tell me what you think of the color. Tell me what you think of the setup, the pricing, the features, the room. And let me know if you're going to possibly get one of these and switch out of a Pathfinder or a Pilot or an MDX or a Telluride or any of those things. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.